What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we take a look at the fourth film in the Walt Disney Animation Studios chronology from 1941, Dumbo. Starring the voice talents of Edward Brophy, Verna Felton, Cliff Edwards, Herman Dean, Sterling Holloway, and James Baskett. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said in the opening, today we're going to take a look at Dumbo, the fourth film in the Golden Age era of the Walt Disney Animation Studios timeline. And let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it here, shall we? Our film opens and a flock of storks are delivering babies to circus animals within the winter quarters in Florida. All of the mothers receive their parcels before departure except for one elephant named Mrs. Jumbo. Now, during the travel on the train, a lost stork brings her an elephant who is adorned with enormous ears. He is made an object of ridicule and given the nickname Dumbo. Mrs. Jumbo remains dignified, though, and treats her child with all of the love that a mother could give. But when a group of young children begin to mock and heckle Dumbo, Mrs. Jumbo catches a boy named Smitty, who's more or less the leader of the young children, grabs him, and proceeds to spank him with her trunk. As a result, the circus ringmaster deems Mrs. Jumbo as mad, and as a result, he has her locked in a cage. Dumbo is then turned into a pariah amongst the rest of the circus troupe, and a small mouse named Timothy meets and consoles Dumbo and vows to do everything that he can to help make Dumbo a star. After being subliminally encouraged by Timothy, the ringmaster makes Dumbo the top of an elephant pyramid stunt. However, the performance goes awry when Dumbo misses his target, causing the other elephants to suffer various injuries and bring down the big top. As a result of these follies, Dumbo is then made into a clown, much to the shame of the other elephants, and plays a main role in an act that involves him falling into a vat of pie filling. Now, despite Dumbo's newfound popularity and fame, Dumbo hates this job and is more miserable than ever before. Dumbo up, Timothy takes him to visit his imprisoned mother, and although the two are unable to see each other face to face and can only intertwine trunks, they still have a very nice sentimental moment scored to the song Baby Mine. On the way back from Dumbo having time with his mother, Dumbo cries and then gets the hiccups. So Timothy takes him for a drink of water from a bucket that, unbeknownst to them, has accidentally had a bottle of champagne spilled into it by the clown troupe. As a result, Dumbo and Timothy both get drunk and have surreal hallucinations of pink elephants, the Pink Elephants on Parade segment. And the next morning, Dumbo and Timothy are awakened by a group of crows who are surprised to find an elephant sitting on a tree's highest branches. After the initial astonishment wears off, Timothy surmises that Dumbo had managed to achieve flight by using his large ears as wings. Timothy convinces an insecure Dumbo to use this gift with the support of the crow's leader, Jim Crow, who gives Dumbo one of his feathers and convinces him that it carries magical properties that will allow him to fly. Back at the circus, Timothy proposes to Dumbo to transform his clown act into a flying performance. And as Dumbo unfolds his ears during the plummet, he loses the feather and panics. Timothy confesses to Dumbo that the feather was never magical and that he is still able to fly. So Dumbo pulls out of the dive and flies around the circus, finally striking back at his tormentors as a stunned audience looks on in amazement. After the performance, Dumbo becomes a media sensation. Timothy becomes his manager and the new owner of the circus. And while Mrs. Jumbo and Dumbo are given their own private car on the train. Sometime later, as Casey Jr., the train, begins to travel to the circus's next destination, Mrs. Jumbo and Dumbo wave goodbye to the crows as Dumbo's new friends wish him good luck. I'm going to get personal with you guys here, okay? It's the first time I've really ever gotten into this on an episode of one of my shows, I believe. Dumbo, when I was a child, was really, really hard for me, okay? When I was younger, starting when I was about 10 months old, I had a seizure. Over time, I was diagnosed as epileptic. So, being a young kid who had seizures randomly, anytime, any place, because hadn't found the right combination of medications and everything to keep them under wraps, I had to wear a helmet for a long time when I was younger. Basically an old 70s, 80s style hockey helmet. Went over the head, had two round rings that went around my ears. As a result, pushed them out. So when I was younger, what did kids call me? Dumbo. And it was something that stuck with me for a very, very long time until about the time I got into high school. Because at that point, I had found the right combination of pills to help keep my seizures under control. Began growing my hair out, which kind of covered them. And over time, they got back to more or less a normal state, so it's not really noticeable anymore. But because of that, when I was younger, Dumbo was always really, really hard for me. Because you think about it, it's the story of a boy elephant who's different from all the others, and he has to overcome his adversity and the things that make him different. He has to try to figure out how to use that to his advantage. And I was basically going through the same thing. Boy had seizures. As a result, had big ears. Was constantly mocked and made fun of and heckled by other kids. it was one I could watch, but it was one I couldn't really get into. As the years went on, got older, became a father myself. I go back and I watch it now, and it hits me different. It hits me different because of the parent-child relationship between Mrs. Jumbo and Dumbo. And if you can sit there and watch the baby mind segment and not get a little bit emotional, you don't have to cry. But if you don't feel that feeling in the pit of your stomach, then I don't know what to tell you, because that scene rips my soul out. And it's something that, as a parent, you can relate to, because what would you do if you were able to interact with your child, but you couldn't hold them, you couldn't see them, you couldn't comfort them? It's a very, very hard thing to try to realize and to come to grips to. And hearing that song just hits you in the feels every time, or at least it does to me. You know, we talk about these classic Disney movies, we talk about the music, Baby Mine, Casey Jr. in the beginning of the film, you know, the theme song for the train. When I See an Elephant Fly, which, okay, let's get into the controversy about the crows here for a minute, shall we? The crow leader's name originally is Jim Crow. Now, if you don't know what Jim Crow is, pause this real quick, open up another Google tab, look up Jim Crow. The Walt Disney Company actually named the crow Jim Crow. Once the controversy started to come out, they retracted that and renamed him Dandy Crow. The crows have always been looked at as one of the dark points in Disney film history. You know, When I See an Elephant Fly, as fun of a song as it is, has come under scrutiny for the dialogue used within the song, making the black crows seem uneducated. Will I be done seeing about everything when I see an elephant fly? Pink elephants on parade. Within the confines of the movie, trippy segment in of itself, because you figure Dumbo and Timothy are drunk at the time off of the champagne. They're hallucinating. I love when that segment occurs within Fantasmic. Hell, I love Fantasmic from start to finish anyways. But the Pink Elephant on Parade segment is definitely just as awe-inspiring within the confines of Mickey's imagination as it is here within Dumbo and Timothy's hallucinations. In comparison to a movie like Snow White, with Dumbo, you've really got a character that you can get behind, whether you're a boy or a girl growing up. Whereas someone like Snow White, it appeals to the girls that want to be princesses, and that's about it, really. But Dumbo has that relatability factor, in my opinion. Like I said, whether you're a young boy or a young girl, whether you're a father grown up or a mother grown up, and especially if you have kids, that parent-child relationship is really, really put on display here, and I think it's done very beautifully. Little spoiler here for Bambi tomorrow, but Dumbo is the only film in the Golden Age era that I can honestly give a 5 out of 5 stars to. The storytelling, the characters, and the other thing you got to figure is your lead character doesn't talk. He's a mute. Everybody else in the film speaks. Dumbo never talks. He just conveys everything about him in his body language, his facial expressions, his emotions. But he never talks. The story, the songs, the relatability, everything about Dumbo, I feel like this is the only film in the golden age of Walt Disney Animation Studios that I can give a 5 stars to. What do you guys think out there that are watching? You know, if you're watching the premiere, leave your comments over here. Be curious to see what you guys think. If you're watching on demand later, leave your comments down here. Curious to see what you guys think. Make sure you guys get out there on the social medias. Get those hashtags trending for me. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. Hashtag Jeff Meacham Network, as we're being broadcast today in a replay format on the Jeff Meacham Network. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all your official merchandise from the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get your Renegade JJ Williams t-shirts, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag StatBoyApproved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network. 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, and so much more. Get out there, support, help us out. While you're out there supporting, take note of that little ticker right there. Help me out. Allow me to get some more films to review for you guys. Either go to that PayPal or go to my Linktree and purchase something off of my Amazon movie wish list. Once those things arrive, I will give you a shout out on Renegade Recap when I open my movie mail, the item that you sent me. And then once I factor in where I can review that film that you sent me within my themes, I will give you another shout out. Much like I did during Trilogy Months, when I shouted out my friend Jamel from work, who hooked me up with the John Wick trilogy as a Christmas present last year. Do the same thing, man. I'll put you guys over, give you a little tip of the hat thank you on those episodes as well for whatever it is that you're able to support, contribute, and help me get a hold of. So take note, once again, of that ticker right down there. Figure out something to purchase or whatever amount you want to donate and help me grow continue to support me. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, make sure you tune in for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews as we round out the golden age of the Walt Disney Animation Studios films with none other than from 1942, Bambi, starring the voice talents of John Sutherland, Sam Edwards, Sterling Holloway, Paula Winslow, Will Wright, Ann Gillis, and Fred Shields. You won't want to miss out tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel as we wrap up the golden age with Bambi. Thank you very much to all my loyal fans who tuned in, watching the premiere here, leaving your comments over here. Thank you again to all my loyal viewers watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you again to the West Coast professor, the man, the myth, the legend, JEFF MEACHAM, for allowing me to crash his network today, as I do every other Friday when there's not a new episode of The Dads, not always on wrestling, and replaying today's broadcast for me over there, try to bring some more eyes to my product. Thank you very much, sir. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of my loyal viewers who tune in on a regular basis. Thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys next time.